Hello, welcome to B Seattle Shows You How Discord kind of works. I'm Sanatina. I am your guide for today, and I'm going to mostly be sharing my screen, but yeah, this is what I look like, and I will see you after we get done with the introduction. So let us share screen. So, you should be seeing right now on my screen, on your screen, a invitation to a Discord group. So let's just start with what is Discord, because that's what the main question is most people are going to have if you're not familiar with this work. So Discord is a website or application on your phone. You can download it as an app that lets people share information through a forum system. So if you ever used any kind of forum systems in the past, like Yahoo groups, or there's, I'm sure, Facebook has groups, and it's kind of like that. It's like a private Facebook group, but independent of any corporation. And so what we did is the Seattle Renter Organizing Council created its own Discord group for us to gather in. And in order to join, you can get an invite link from Kate at bseattle.org. Pretty sure that's the right email address. She'll correct me, and I will say the correct one soon if that's wrong. But yes, so if you are interested in becoming a part of our community, this is for renters to organize in Seattle around our interests. And as you see, we currently have 23 members as I'm recording this, and maybe more when you join us. So if you've never joined Discord before, if you've never used Discord, you're going to need to create a username. And so I'm just going to create a name that is my initials. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be taken, but that will let me edit it in a second. I am human. Wow. They only do this when I'm doing demonstrations. Oh my goodness, that wasn't taken. That's a surprise. Oh, we have to edit this out. So yeah, so if you've never used this before, Discord, it's going to ask you to set up an account stuff. If you've used Discord before, all of this stuff will be done.
My granddaughter told me that she has a Discord account. She's 15.
It's very popular amongst the youth.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to create something off screen. Pasted it. All right, so this is, if you don't have Discord, as I was saying, you are going to be offered, they'll take you through some instructions on how to navigate the system. You don't need to download any kind of applications. If your computer can't handle it because of space reasons or anything, you can use it in a web page, no problem. All you do is X out, and you don't have to get the desktop app. All right, so Discord tries to make sure you are aware of how to interact with the service. So I have to complete some more actions before I can talk here. And oh, I will verify my email. Okay. Email verified. And then as your email and phone number will not be shared with the community staff. So my email address is not shared with B Seattle. If people weren't here watching what I entered in there, they wouldn't know what account has this email. And then there are rules. Every community has rules, and we want to make sure that we are respectful of each other. And so you have to read the rules before you join the community. And I am now here. And for future reference, there is a channel, and I'll go into channels in a second. But right now we see the rules. So this is the first space that I come into. And it has the rules that I just agreed to. So if we ever need to refer to them, they're right here. And Kate is going to explicitly say no landlords or property managers in the rules after this is recorded. So that'll be a part of the rules after today. It isn't planned right now, but yeah, it's good to have it explicit. So I also want to point your attention up to this top bar, because there is often a lot of information up here about the particular channel that you are in. And I see here there's a red dot, which means that an admin has pinned a message. So that means if there's more messages that come under this one, if more things are posted, I can easily find the important messages by clicking on this pin. There's, I think the inbox, that's, this is your personal space. So I noticed that there's this red dot. That's why I clicked on it. And red dot generally means that there's something there that you might want to see. And this is from Discord. And it says to update your profile by adding an avatar. An avatar is a picture that represents you. So this little paintbrush, I think it's a paintbrush, could be an avatar. I could use any image I want. I can use my own picture, or I can use one of my cats, or a, pretty rainbow. Anything can be an avatar. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go through these in a little. Oh, actually, I'm going to go through here right now. So as I was just saying, there was a red dot there to let me know there's something for me to read. And in the sidebar here, these will be bolded if there's something that I should read. So there's different ways. And I see here that Discord is teaching me how to use it. So when you first sign up to the service, if you're not familiar with Discord, going through these tips can be really helpful. So now we're looking at the channels. So I clicked on this little on the glowy spot, and Discord is letting me know channels are places in your server, and server is another name for group. So this is our Seattle Renter Organizing Council server, where people can talk about different topics. And I got it. And now, let's see, what is this? I see. So this is telling me I can create my own server. Now, you don't have to worry about that. If you're not interested in creating your own community, or you know, if you don't want it, you don't have to think about it. This is the only space that you'll have to think about if you use Discord only for this service. And then we have this one down here. So this lets me know that this is the space for me to chat. Well, I have this little icon that says I can't actually chat because I'm in a channel that doesn't let everybody chat. This is a announcement channel. So only admins can post to this channel and let us know what's happening in the server. So it's good to read up on these channels and, you know, keep your notifications on them. All right, and that reminds me about the notification setting. So in the channel list, you will be able to get notified whether or not there are new messages in a channel based on your interest. So you can get notified for all messages, only things where somebody says at your name. So if somebody types at S.A. Sanchez, that means that I would get that notification, but nobody else would probably get it. Or if you have nothing, you wouldn't get it, you know. So if you see here, the server, the way that we set up the server is that only mention. So that means that if I don't change anything, all of the channels on the side, I'm going to get notified only if I get mentioned. I can change that in every channel. And this is a second channel. I don't want to. That's weird. This is an announcement channel. This is another one where it's a read only for most people. And this is the first channel where you can chat. And we want to be able to know what to share in this particular channel. So that's where we click on this header. And there's information about each channel in the header. So this channel is for sharing documents and links that can be used as tools in our organizing kits. So Resource Hub is a place to store things. It's kind of like our file folder, if you will. And people can pin messages. We don't have any messages pinned in this one yet, but as people start adding links and adding resources, it could be useful to have some things in here for everybody to reference. Same notifications, same thing. So I'm actually interested in getting all messages. I don't want to just get just mentions from me. If somebody posts in this channel, I want to see it. So I'm going to specifically change this channel to all messages. And then we have the discussion channel. So what we just went through are these categories. So we're going through categories of channels. So here's the important info. We just went through all of the important info channels. And I can close it. Well, I'm in the resource hub, so that shows up right now. But if I click on this little arrow, that makes it easier for me to see some that are lower down. Or I can just scroll. So now we're in another category, which is discussion. And discussion is what it sounds like. It's for us to chat. This is where you see there's lots of activity going on. And we encourage you to say, hey, in the introduce yourself space, so we can make sure the general space is for information about, you know, more conversation, not just, you know, like, yeah. So this is the place if you don't know, oh, that's right. If I can click on the channel description, we already posted it. If you're not sure where your post should go, post in this channel. So this is, yeah, if you're not comfortable with figuring out all of the rest of the channels, feel free to just hang out in general. And we as a group will be able to help and work with you. So next one is brainstorming. So our brainstorming channel is for suggestions for collaborative efforts to improve conditions for Seattle renters. So this channel we intended to have as a place where people can make suggestions about ideas, like things that are not quite at the ready to plan stage, but you're thinking, this is something I would like to, I'm interested in researching. I'm interested in hearing if other people have ideas about this. So, you know, do you want to collaborate with our community in coming up with ideas about actions? And then legal discussion. And I like to read this one because legal is always a touchy place. So we share legal resources and ask questions relating to laws. Note, this is not considered legal advice. If you need legal advice, consult a lawyer directly. That's very important. We are here to have discussions about the laws, but if you need to actually engage in legal activity, you need to contact a lawyer. We are not legal advice. So yeah, this is a resource to discuss things, but not for legal advice. And that is the discussion category. So I have now collapsed important info. I'm going to collapse discussion because we've gone through them. Legal still here because I'm in the legal channel, but I'm going to hop down to social spaces before I come to this work groups, because if you notice that there's different icons here. And so these channels work a little different. So I'm going to stick to the text channels before I get into the forum channels. So our last discussion channel, text only, is social spaces. And this is just, you know, for hanging out, for us to enjoy. Introduce yourself, social chat, other events that aren't related to organizing really necessarily, but you want to, you know, have a party with some people and just hang out, or a happy hour, or, you know, maybe go to a skating rink. I've heard that's really coming back. I'm a big fan. And memes. I am not going to go into any of the social spaces because, you know, it's not necessary to show you more channels. They're pretty much what I just showed you in terms of the text channels, but more social. So that's that. And then we have down here voice channels. So we can have meetings in Discord through voice or text. And here is where we can hang out and talk to each other through this application, through this website. You're welcome to use these spaces at any time with your fellow residents in Seattle to just meet or to hang out. This is your resource, and we hope you enjoy using it. So now we're going to come back up to work groups. I'm going to collapse all the ones we've already talked about. So now we're just dealing with work groups. Now, work groups you see here are organized into forums. And forums are places for us to, well, let's go into city council elections. This is an example of the way the forum works. And so you might have noticed in the text channels, all the conversation happens on one screen, you know, and there's it can go very fast for some people. Well, in these work groups, we know that these are topics that have a lot of potential to have lots of different kinds of conversation. So here you see in city council elections, we have posts about all the different forums, and we're working on, you know, how collaborating. We have a post about collaborating on the candidate questions. So this particular thread was just for us to chat about this particular topic. And it keeps it a little bit more organized than the free-flowing discussion channels that can happen. So the way that you create conversation in these spaces is just clicking on here and typing in a subject. So here, this upcoming forums and events, this is the subject. So I can be like, a forum I'm attending. All right, no match. So nobody has posted this, so I'm going to create a new post. Now this is the subject, and I can say, I'm going, oops, to this particular forum on this day. I don't have anything. I'm not, this is an example. This is why I'm writing it this way. But this is what I'm typing. So I'm just saying, I'm going to this particular, would anyone like to join me? And I can post this. And I have now posted a topic in this forum about city council elections. And so anybody who's interested in following this particular topic of city council elections and advocating to the city council during the election season, they're going to see this and be able to respond to it without being overwhelmed by the other conversations that are going on in the same topic. And oh, look at that. I got my first response. Dee is interested in coming with me. I'm so excited. We're going to have fun at this forum that we're going to, that, you know, we will figure out when we're going. And this is a very, you know, great example of how community is built in this space. I don't know many people perhaps in this organizing space yet, but I can come in here and say, I do need help in facilitating. So we haven't, there's been no posts about this yet. This is a new group, so we're getting started still. But this page is about people who are interested in being moderators or facilitators of meetings, right? So organizing has a lot of, there's a lot of need for people who have facilitation skills and moderation skills. And so this group is designed for us to talk about that in a very detailed way and exchange suggestions about how we moderate and facilitate in this specific organizing space. And this is also an opportunity for us to gather and have trainings with each other and schedule maybe some meetings down in the voice channel, because we can make meetings with each other without having to ask for a Zoom link now. And so I'm saying, you know, does anybody want to do a facilitator training on this day? And then we can meet in this space and easy peasy, all, you know, organizing is easy. So that is the very basics of Discord. And let me make sure. Aha. So this is the last thing I want to go over. This is the last thing I want to go over in terms of getting to know your server, your group. And that is the settings, your personal settings. So you can change various settings for yourself. And so this system might look different for you than it will look for somebody else. When you see a difference, you can probably come to this menu up at the top and ask what settings they have, if you like it or you don't like something. And so that way you can get to know how to change things. So I actually am not a fan of seeing all this information. So I'm going to actually hit hide muted channels, so that I'm going to go through and say, I don't have space for instance, renovictions. I can mute. So I'm going to mute this until I turn it back on. So I'm going to mute this channel and say, if I see these messages, if I see unread messages, I know I'm going to want to read them. So I have to hide this space so that I can focus on the groups that I have energy for. So I'm going to mute it and it disappears. Now that I'm not in it, it will disappear. Now, I might want to bring that back, right? So I can come up here and uncheck this. And here I see it comes back into my list, but it's you know, quiet. It doesn't see, I don't see anything really. And I won't actually see notifications, but I know it's there. I can see it there, and I'm gonna want to check to see if there's anything new. So for me, I prefer to hide my muted channels. If you ever want to see if you're missing any channels for some reason, you can click on Browse Channels. And here you can see the check marks. And it will, you can check here, or check it in the group itself. I'm not that as familiar with Discord's backend or with how the system works to understand why this wasn't checked when I checked it in the group. But that's another area that you can use to follow and unfollow groups. So yeah, as I said, that's the gist of Discord. And now I guess it's time for questions. So is there anybody here that has any questions or comments that they want to share around using this system?
I have a question, and maybe it's more of a moderator question, but if someone posts, let's say, something in the general discussion and you say, oh, that should be under this work group, is there a way to move it or to mute that discussion?
So that's a great question. And I came to this, so I came to the general channel and I found a chat and I clicked on, or I hovered. So I hovered over the chat in question. And I see a menu pop up. And if I hit more, I get some options. Now, as a moderator, I'm pretty sure you have more options in this menu than I do. So it's very possible that you can move messages from channel to channel, but I don't have that information in front of me, and this is where you would find that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions or comments? Hope I did okay for the people who know Discord pretty well, because like I use it pretty much just as a chat service. And so I'm not as familiar with the ins and outs of all of the abilities or all the potentials that the system has. So I'm always welcome to learn. And if you're interested in being a facilitator or moderator of this community, please get in touch with Kate. Kate at bseattle.org is the email. And we'd love to have you as a part of our community and organize with you, especially, you know, as a renter in Seattle. I think that pretty much covers it if we don't have any questions or other thoughts.
Sue, I saw you come off mute.
I did. That's because I've been trying to come off mute practically the entire time. And I don't know why it's been like this, but yeah, I just was, I really feel like this was very helpful for me because, you know, I looked at all this and I thought, I don't have time for this, you know, all that. So, yeah.
We can cut a little bit of this part out just for the conversation. But so, for example, I texted you because I knew you were on Discord when I was asking you about the District 1 forum.
Yeah.
But we were posting about the forums, like who wants to go to this. So in theory, you could have seen it, or I could have tagged you,
right.
Like, hey, Sue, I know you live in this district, which is what I'm trying to get into because it's a lot easier for me than trying to remember how I communicate with everyone because some people are, you know, email and some are text and some are signal.
So my question is, do I have to have the app or the server open in order to receive those alerts? Do I have to?
Great question. You can get email notifications
okay.
of in stuff that's going on in your Discord.
Okay.
I don't have that set up for myself. And so I have to do a little bit of research. But if you come into the group and we can chat about it and I can help you set up notifications to your emails. And that's for anybody who's watching this too.
Right. Right.
Well, and I might not be a part of the time, but somebody can help you.
Yeah. Well, I
can't
actually
promise
have
when
an
you're watching
account.
it.
I've actually signed in because you guys invited me. So I'm on there. So yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm glad this was helpful. And yeah,
very much.
Part of the you know, value of Discord is you can ask questions about it right in there. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to post in the general chat channel, because that's a great place to just, you know, put stuff and we can always work as a group to help you out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming. I hope you all had a great time and you learned stuff, and hope to see you in the Discord.
Okay.
Tina.
Thank you, Kate. Back to you.